People tend to interpret situations very subjectively, which means that the way I see something is not the same way you're going to see it. And it's very important to keep that in mind, to remember that, because it is usually a source of conflict, it is usually a source of disappointment, a source of betrayal in many interpersonal relationships. The assumption that the way I think is the way another person thinks. And so the expectation is that they are going to think the way I think. To be in a relationship, that becomes an unconscious condition for you. This is what I mean. Me and you can be in the same situation. Perhaps you're giving me a gift, and for you it's a nice gesture. You think it's a useful gift. And then you give it to me and you expect that I'm going to receive it in the same manner. But you don't know that, and you'll never know for sure unless I sincerely, honestly tell you how I receive it. So I might interpret this, you giving me a gift, as a hand-me-down, as a charity, as a way of telling me that you're better than me. That's how I receive it, because that's where I'm coming from. But you'll never know that for sure, and you can't control how I perceive something. You can't control how I interpret that situation. And this tends to be a very common source of disappointment in many people who are in relationships. Take, for example, a woman finds a man in a very dire state in life. He's lost his job, he's got problems with substance use, he's not able to afford rent, and all these things. And the woman, out of a kind heart maybe, decides to help this man. So gets into a relationship with him, a romantic relationship, and provides him with shelter and food and buys clothing, helps him to find a job, and then eventually he does. And so the woman is an interpretation now that circumstances have changed, the man is back on his feet. The woman might interpret the circumstances as, wow, I've helped him get back on his feet. I have done something to contribute to the better life that he has now. And so maybe that has brought me some significance in his life, maybe in his entire life. And so now the woman is expecting some sort of appreciation, some expression of gratitude from the man. And the man says, thank you. But you see, the woman was expecting a grand gesture of gratitude. And the man is thinking, this woman could love me at my worst. And is wondering, does she have any standards in choosing a romantic partner? I mean, that was the worst time to love a person. So now that the man has got back to his feet, he's looking for a woman who actually has standards. And the man says, thank you very much. I'm very grateful for what you've done for me. But what I do with the help that you've given me is mine to decide. It's not yours. And now the man wants to see other people. The woman thinks the man is being ungrateful. The man is thinking, I have expressed my appreciation in the best way that I think I can. But now the woman feels entitled and now is very bitter and is engulfed in this. But you see, her point to understand is that she cannot control how another person receives the help that she gives. It is not her job to decide how the other person should behave when they've been held out of an adversity or a difficult situation. That would save her the disappointment. That would save her the feeling of betrayal that she's experiencing, that this man has done to her. So always remember that you have to put a boundary of what you can control. You can control your thoughts. You can control how you behave. But you can't control how your behavior influences another person. You can't control how they're going to think about what you do for them, what you do to them, what you do against them.